Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly all signs messages. I want to let you guys know if you're ready to meet your spirit guide. I put together a free meditation for that. I just dropped that in the live chat replay. But we're going to get you what you need to hear this week. I'm working on the monthly longer ones. I've got earth signs and air signs done. But I do apologize for getting the weekly signs out a little bit late, but let's go. I think Aries is up first. Let's get the time. Aries. All right, what does Aries need to hear this week, Spirit? Oh. Expect some sweeping changes in the way that you love your life. It kind of looks like you're getting out of the glimmer and the glamour areas of like life, in terms of that, like, I gotta be like Kim Kardashian, like just that like pomp and circumstance. You're letting go of the glimmer and the glamour of life. It's kind of like a crash landing into reality of like, oh, I get it. Love is if the person's trying to help you solve your problem. Love is if the person shows you care. Hey, did you get home okay? I know it was raining. So you're kind of starting to like just kind of crash land into the grounded reality of like what love looks like on a day-to-day basis. So from there, it's really going to open you up to enjoying life more. And it is like you're going to realize that like, oh, going to a Zumba class is special. Someone who is willing to like watch my kids while I go to Zumba class, that's special. Like, thank you so much for watching them so that I can go and enjoy and get my sweat on. Like, you're really just going to start recognizing the value of that like day-to-day companionship, and that anytime anyone tries to solve one of your problems, um so the only thing I could see that you're grappling with, Aries, is that there's just a little bit of confusion of like a, if I get so happy with my life as it is, then how is the universe going to know that I really do want that love into my life? Because if I'm fully happy, the universe won't give it to me. But guys, that's just a little bit of when you're a kid, right? Most of the time, parents do want you to demonstrate how bad you want something. Parents work different than the universe. So the parents either want to see that you stay excited about it for an extended period of time, or they want to see that you're like desperate for it, right? Because I mean, now that you're like older, you know what kids are like. Oh, I want that. You get it for them. They play with it for 5 minutes and then toss it aside. So just recognize that that's just that little old habit that no, no, if I'm happy with my life as is, the universe isn't going to see that I want it. Yeah, but so that's just a little bit of the bounce. If I'm not suffering, the universe isn't going to say that I want it. I also feel disappointed that it's not in her yet. All I can say is that like keep going. You're on the path to success. You're on the path. Keep going into that. The oh, life is supposed to feel good, and like you're just going to get into that enjoyment of like the sparkle of the day to day. And then you got the stars, the outcome. So you're going to go through like a little kind of mini transformation this week where you just recognize the beauty and the value of good friendship and companionship. All right, let's go into Taurus now. What does Taurus need to hear this week? Taurus, it looks like you are not going to drop a fight with someone. It's like you're just going to battle it out. You're just going to like battle it out. You're going to battle it out. You're going to duke it out. You are overall starting to move a little bit more intentional, a little bit more like you want to go to like a conscious community. You're moving more towards conscious co-creation and a good, just good-hearted, conscious community. And you are starting to feel an activated, like a little bit more spark for life, a little bit more, ooh, this is fun. I want to go for that. I want to go do this. All I can say, you're not going to drop the fight. Okay, what advice do you have for them about this fight? You're trying to put an energy and effort to teach the person how to be more loving and how to communicate more kindly. You're wasting your energy. Yeah, you're wasting your energy. And it's like you evolved out of the person because you're learning how to communicate more effectively, more lovingly, all that stuff. Your last piece of the journey is when to put effort into someone and when not to. Like say you've come into your own. Quit trying to make them come into their own. That's your message, Taurus. That's a tough one. Comment below. Let me know how that's going, Taurus. All right, Gemini. What does Gemini need to hear this week? Ooh, good card, good card, good card. Gemini. It's like it's a week of that balance between emotional fulfillment and allowing in new. Um, the enjoying what you've got and allowing in new. So it's kind of like if you're like just starting a brand new relationship, right? Hey, Taurus started at 3:46. Go watch it and come back. Um, but so Gemini, it's like that you've got a good contented life. Like let's just use the example of like a single mom, right? You meet a new person, it brings in a spark and it brings in like a lot of love and a lot of juicy goodness. You don't want to just, well, that felt good. Let me hang out with him. That felt good. Let me hang out with him. That felt good. Let me hang out with him again. Right. So it's like that balance between enjoying what you've got and where you're at and allowing in the new and not just taking in the new. Because with anything, like once you start eating something, the first couple of bites, it tastes really good. Then it tastes good. Then it tastes bland. Then it's like, okay, this is too much. So it's just, your week is just about balancing, enjoying what you've got and enjoying the new and appropriately pacing the new. Okay, so now let's go on to Cancer. What does Cancer need to hear this week? Cancer. And don't forget, guys, if you want to meet your spirit guide, I'll put the free meditation in the comments below. Cancer. Well, you're on the path to becoming like a more loving, empathic person. You're on the path to allowing in more loving, fulfilling life, and that does involve relationships. And it kind of looks like you've got some choice to make about whether you should pursue something, someone, or not. And you're really in your head about it. Okay, but what's the advice, Spirit? Oh, take action. Take action towards the new. Wherever it is that you're expanding into, Cancer, that's take your action. Like so move forward. Either if you've been single for a while, try to start the relationship or at least go out with them once a week consistently. Um, if you're trying to get a new job, keep applying. Take the action that's going to take you towards the new. What's the advice for the in the head though? Cancer, it's that it's not about solving the problem in your mind logically, strategically. It's that what you really is going to feel better is if you're spending more time with people. And it's the unity card. So that's where it's like you're hanging out with someone, you guys are tackling different chores at the same time. And then once you guys are done, you just sit on the patio together for a while. So you don't even necessarily need to be talking. It's kind of like Cancer, it's needing to not have a strategic reason for why you're hanging out, except for the fact of just like being together, sharing the same space, and like being there. Um, so it's kind of like you're just learning the value and the lesson of that, and that is what's going to make you feel better. And think of it this way: like plants, they need air and water, right? Humans need other humans because we like recharge each other. We're batteries for each other. I'm trying to think of what study it was. But there was that orphan study that the orphans closer to the front of the door, and then there were like orphans at the back of the room. The orphans at the front half of the room, they lived significantly more, meaning the ones at the back of the room, because they were picked up and held less, they had a higher death rate. So that's the value of like being hugged and being around like other humans. All right, let's go on to Leo. What does the Leo need to hear this week? Ooh. Concha, haha, you. I just listened. I'm not going to duke it out anymore. I love you. You're going through a good growth there, dude. Okay, let me do Leos, and then in between Leo and Virgo, I'll chat more Concha if you want to type more. Um, Leo, it kind of looks like there's something from your past, and I want to say your recent past, that you feel was like unfair. And this is definitely from your recent past. Okay. So just something that recently happened. You're like, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair how it ended. That wasn't fair. I want to say it wasn't fair how it ended. Or it's more like a, that wasn't cool. And it's almost as if you don't understand why it ended that way or how it ended that way. Let me pull it. Well, wow, this is complicated, Leo. I'm going to try to break it down. Um, Something ended, and lovers, so I do think that this was like, it had something to do with, if it wasn't like a romantic relationship, it was definitely someone very close to you, that like it was a close relationship, and like one of depth and significance, and that provided like great value to you. It's almost as if you felt there was something off. You went quick to action. And I got to be blunt, Leo. You got like the toxic card. And this is also like the adult time card. You went straight to trying to solve the problem, but in an unhealthy way, to be blunt. Um, and so going back to the confusion or not fully understanding why something ended the way it ended, it kind of looks like you and this person were at a fork in the road. There was a path to go down that would have brought you guys closer together. And for whatever reason, the other person was like shy to take that path, though they wanted it. And it's almost as if they wanted to see action on your part, action to match the words before they let their guard down to enjoy it. But that is the path they wanted. But it kind of looks like you took the path to the left to like assert your independence. And that kind of, it didn't devastate the other person, but it kind of crushed them a little. Like a dang, I was hoping they would have, taken the path to the right. They took the path to the left. But like your lesson is like not to jump to conclusions before ending something. And it's really about like learning, man, because your ships were coming in, Leo. Like it was on the path towards something like great, towards like your dream relationship. But it looks like there were a couple of things that happened. It had to do with the other person being like shy to take action or like shy to lean in. And you came to the conclusion that it was over, but like it wasn't. They just wanted to see the action and the words match up. But then you were quick to take action to like, I don't want to say move on, but there was some action that you were quick to take that like was unhealthy. And the other person perceived that as like a you putting up like a distance between the two of you. So the action you took you guys further, like the fork in the road, you know, the path to the right was going to lead to the happy relationship. The person was waiting to see if your actions match up that way, but you were quick to jump this way. And they were like, oh, well, now look at all this distance between us. What do I do? And so just a lot of your lesson, what it's saying here is you got to be willing to like sit through the discomfort of conflict. You got to be willing to sit through the discomfort of, do they like me? Do they not? Just the discomfort of, like if they get mad, if you just pull back, that's not healthy. And you could think healthy, toxic, or you could think lean into connection, lean away from connection. Right now, it looks like you just quickly lean away from connection, expecting the problem to solve itself. But like this person was wanting to see you lean into like healthy conflict resolution. Conflict resolution, rupture and repair, those are all psychology terms that you can go and Google. So it just looks like there was rupture in the relationship and there was no repair. So there was no good. It's kind of like your message is to be just as passionate about leaning into those rupture and repair conflict resolution conversations. Be as passionate about learning how to do those, navigate those, have them, be with the uncomfort, those emotions of them, as you are like quick to action for like the adult time naughty stuff. All I can tell you is you're going to be very happy when you learn that skill set. What an interesting message. Guys, comment below. I'm so curious. Sometimes these messages, oh, okay, Concha, did you have anything to say? What would it look like? Just peacefully letting go without trying to get the understanding, be okay with dissatisfaction. Yes, exactly. He's never going to understand my point of view, and that sucks. I'm still moving towards XYZ, and I'm going to go enjoy that. And I'm moving towards that now. And just allow yourself to be at that place of enjoying the new and also disappointed that that person from the past can't go with you. All right, let's move on to Virgo. And if anyone does want a reading, you can absolutely super chat $20 with your questions, and I will answer your question in between the zodiac signs. All right, so what does Virgo need? Oh, I'm curious about that, Concha. But let me focus on Virgo. Virgo. Wow. Virgo, you definitely have a theme in all your reads lately. You made an unwise choice in a renewal, and a second chance with someone. And it looks like you still really want that second chance. I do see the potential for a very positive outcome, but you have to approach the relationship differently. Um, Honestly, it kind of looks like those moments where people realize we're not the prize. Men aren't the prize, women aren't the prize. No one deserves to be relentlessly chased and pursued. It's like learn that balance of like maintaining a long-term relationship is where there's shared power. Um, what do you have to say about this second chance? This person you want a second chance with, to like reconcile with, there's a chance and the opportunity, but the other person has to feel that you're ready to put energy and effort into maintaining the relationship. It just looks like to the other person, it's like that person just wants to be put on a pedestal. The person just wants it their way. They're not meeting any of my needs. Um, so they just have to feel that you want to meet their needs too. If you do, there's a really good chance it would work out. If you don't, if you don't go through that change, there's nothing's going to happen. You will like it if you're willing to put more energy and effort into the relationship and be willing to do things for the other person so that like they feel loved too. There's a really good playful connection for the two of you. Right now, all I can tell you is that it looks like you're just trying to do the reconciliation with the same exact approach, and that's not going to work. It's going to backfire on you. You got to change your approach, Virgo. You got to be willing to put more energy and effort into your relationship. What about universe with people? It's not about energy and effort. Oh, it's about being for those of you who it's like you did put energy and effort in, it's about being strategic about who you partner with. Make sure you guys have the same life vision so that you know you two are always working towards that. All right, let's go on to Libra. What does Libra need to hear this week? Believe it or not, why you're not rapidly moving forward, Libra, is like it's a mental block. How you're viewing the situation or how you're viewing yourself. Like you think you're trapped, and like the little thing that's popping in my head right now is have you guys seen that little meme of a little boy? He's like clutching onto this rope and he's in water. All the adults are standing around him and he's like screaming and crying. And one of the parents just kind of puts their foot on his legs and pushes him down. He stands right up. The water was only like knee deep to the little boy, but it was in his head. Um, It's almost as if, like, your advice is to lean into the part of me that knows how to do this. I need you to step up and be more prevalent. The part of me that knows how to do this and that knows how to receive this and knows how to evolve to become a vibrational match for this, I need you to start becoming more prevalent and out there. Show me how to more lovingly think about, communicate about, feel about my desire. And then it's like stepping into that worthiness that you deserve it. And how to do that, especially for people who have like the mommy wound, people who have the mommy wound just don't feel worthy of their desires. Right about if I this is what I desire. If I had it, here's what I would be doing, and this is how I would feel. I want a lover. If I had a lover, well, I would be getting hugs every day. Because now you're not making it a worthiness issue of am I worthy of the great love of my life? You're making a am I worthy of a hug? Yes. Yes, I am worthy of a hug. And then switch out worthiness for the word deserve. I deserve a hug every day. When you could sink into that deservedness of what it is you want, which is essentially, I deserve a hug every day because I would feel happier. Like that's what's going to bring your desire in. All right, let's go on to Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to hear this week? I'm just writing the timestamps down. Scorpio. It looks like it's a I don't say a warning because it's not like a warning of something bad happening, but it's like a balance between quick action and communication. So it's kind of like those times where sometimes you just want to, oh, I see the solution and you're quick to action. But sometimes what's really needed is communication. And it is, guys, when there's groups, things do go slower. And like the example that's popping in my head right now, there's one time I was at the airport with my grandparents on a trip. And like they were all older. I was the young one that was like young 20s, and they were all like 80, you know? And they were like, oh, where's our bags? Where's our bags? I looked over and I saw the customer service where they were like, late bags delivered here. So I was like, oh, I ran over there to go get the bags. The guy looked it up and said, oh, you got to wait 15 minutes for your airplane's bags to get here. I go back to the group and they were like, oh my God, here you are. Kelly, we figured it out. We know the bags are going to be there in 15 minutes and we were worried about you. We didn't need stress about you. And I was like, but I was just going right over there. That's where the bags were. I was asking the guy, but you should have stayed here and waited, right? So I should have communicated. And sometimes, like, it might take longer, but if you want to be in a relationship, sometimes things do take longer, you know? So your message this week, Scorpio, is just a big old balance between action versus when to sit there and just be with a person versus when to just sit there and communicate with them what you want to do. And if they're like, that's not what I want done, you know, you got to balance it out because sometimes being quick to action or quick to solution isn't what's best for the long-term longevity of that relationship. All right, let's go on to Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear? Sagittarius, you need to hear expect success. I expect this to work. I expect success, whether it's from this path that I have or another miraculous one that comes in. I expect success. I expect the actions I take to be aligned for ones that will get me results. I expect the ideas that I get, the path that I'm taking to get me results. If you can grow that expectation of success, you got the King of Earth as the outcome. So it does look like there's good, like financial money success ahead for you. Um, it really just looks like it's going to be a week of like balancing your emotions. Um, and it kind of looks like when I say balance your emotions, it looks like it's one of those times where it's like well, if I had done this when I was younger, this would have been easier for me. Or had I been doing XYZ the first month, I would have been more prepared, and I then would have been able to expect success. It's not how law of attraction works though, guys. Law of attraction is about what you want and why you want it, and then think of all the reasons why it can come in. Be a cooperative component. It has to work because it has to work. Like, it has to work. I need this to come in. I need this to feel good about myself. I need this to have all the money that I want to live the life that I want. I need to feel good about myself. It has to work. Though I could have trained more, I trained enough. I trained enough to get some good results and enjoy some good results now, and I can continue to train to get bigger results in the future. But I've trained enough to get some good results now. Do you see that different way you can think about it? So you've got to learn how to become a cooperative component to your desire is just what you want, why you want it, which is normally because you'll feel good and it coming in, and all the reasons it can come in, even if it's just as simple as, well, the sun comes up and I get to enjoy the sun, and I don't have anything to do with gravity, with the sun rotating around. I don't have any control over that, and I just get to enjoy the sun. I get to enjoy the city who takes care of and maintains parks. They water the trees, and I just get to enjoy them. There's some things that I just get to enjoy without me having to do a lot of work for it, and I like that. So just like you got to think those thoughts that help it come in. All right, Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to hear? Ah, Capricorns. Your little love situation didn't work out because you're a little too prideful to admit that you need someone in your life. And you may not need them to cook for yourself. You may not need them to pay for any of the bills. You may not need them to go to the gym because you go to the gym. But it's like a life would be more fun with someone in my life. Um, so yeah, believe it or not, Capricorn, as a fellow Capricorn here, I'm swallowing this bitter pill too. There was just a little bit too much of a pride to let your guard down to let someone in, and in this exact moment, you're acting like there isn't a problem. Or maybe it's a I can't think about that problem right now. I don't have the time and the energy for it. But you're not even allowing yourself to admit the disappointment that you didn't like lean into love. So there's two things that you're essentially avoiding and not admitting to yourself, Capricorn. Your pride about I do need someone to be happier, leaning into love, and you're not allowing yourself to like feel the disappointment. How do I say this? Well, let me be clear. You didn't do anything wrong to like mess up the relationship or not make it happen, okay? These are just two lessons you got to learn to allow love into the future. You got to like get over that pride that you can do it yourself, figure it out yourself. And it's really about admitting to yourself, fine, I give up. Life would be much more enjoyable with a romantic life partner in my life. Like, you just got to admit that and feel it. My life would be better with a romantic life mate by my side. Because those are the two things you got to do to allow love in. And there's just a little part of you that's a little disappointed that you haven't allowed yourself to do this before in your life. Oh, and your last little message, Capricorn, is that you're always going to lead a complicated life with a lot going on. So you're always going to have that excuse of, well, how do I make time for a partner? I got to do this, this, and this. You know, I have these friends, I have these hobby groups, I have this business. They wanted too much out of me. No, you're always going to have a lot going on, Capricorn, in your life. So you got to learn how to make time and prioritize love in the relationship and craft that time to like be there for them too. But again, you did nothing wrong, and there's nothing you could have done differently for the last relationship that didn't work out. Those are just lessons. Like, you got to do those three things to let love in for the next time. All right, let's go on to Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to hear this week? Ooh, expect positive change. Expect positive change. Things are going to start. You're going to start seeing good, tangible results for yourself. You're being a little too frivolous with your time and energy, maybe money, but that means that you haven't focused in on these are the most important things for me to focus on this week. That's what you need to do. So the tide is changing, turning in your favor. You need to focus in on here are the things that I really need to put my energy and focus on to get done this week. And when you learn to like commit to the here's the things I need to get done to get the good result I want, that's when you're gonna like morph into that really passionate you who likes to take action, who gets good results for their action. Yeah, so you just gotta commit to the actions that you know will get you results. And those are of utmost importance and let everything else fall to the wayside. Tell them you'll take care of that on the weekend. You'll talk to them next week. You really got to get these things done. That type of a thing, Aquarius. All right, let's go on to Pisces. What does Pisces need to hear this week? Well, Pisces, enjoy your love life. Keep enjoying the romance. And most of the time, that's a romance card, like a budding relationship or a really playful time with someone you're already with. It can be good friendship and companionship too. Like really keep having that fun in your friendship and your companionship. And like you're creating a lot of good memories right now. Keep focusing on how good those moments feel and allow yourself to reminisce positively about memories from the past. Because you're about to go on like a new start for something Pisces, and it has to do with money. So the more that you can like kind of fill your love bucket now, the more that you're gonna be like fueled with like a powerful rocket ship in the business money making adventure you want to take. Um, yeah, just let your love bucket be completely filled this week, knowing that the new start will come. So I guess this week you're fueling your love bucket, and either towards the end of the week or the start of next week is when you're really either going to start like working on your business hard or like applying for jobs type of a thing. Um, All right, guys, lots of love. Don't forget free spirit guide meditation in the comments below. And I go live Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, right here on YouTube with free mini reads. So come hang out. Lots of love, guys. Bye.